Hello and welcome to my Elite Dangerous from scratch series. One more run or set of runs around Dav's Hope before we go out to the crater again. We had to end the last video a little short, so we'll just do one more video, capture, and then do some raw material gathering.
Incoming message.
Well, I do appreciate you coming along. Make sure you look to the lower right hand corner of the video and press that subscribe button. That would really help us out with YouTube. YouTube requires that I have 1,000 subscribers. And after 11 months and over 1,300 videos, we have a little over 200, so we need much more of your help, and YouTube allows you as a viewer to subscribe to 2,000 channels for free. So we just need one of those free ones. Make sure you catch our videos on rumble.com. We're still trying to work out all of the details there, but it has great potential, and they do not censor speech, so there's no censorship on rumble.com, so check that one out.
Incoming message.
Their sister company, Parler, is an alternative to Twitter because Twitter also censors speech. So if you're all about free speech, then Rumble and Parler is for you, like it will be for me. And like Rumble, there's dailymotion.com that we'll be working with as soon as we can get the technical difficulties worked out. We will have videos on both. Really all three, including YouTube, just because YouTube has most of the viewers at the moment. Hopefully that evens out with Rumble and Dailymotion over time. Dailymotion and Rumble does not have the requirement of 1,000 subscribers before
Incoming message.
a content creator can get support. Well, that sounds very good. Now, if we can ever get to 1,000 on YouTube, then kind of home free from there. But it would take pretty much forever to get that many on YouTube. I'm going to keep creating videos because I capture all of my gameplay. And in the next few days, my HP Reverb G2 should be shipped, and I should get a tracking number within the next few days. So hopefully that happens. And I'm sure some of you say, man, that's a lot of material you're having together there. Exactly. That's what we say all the time too. That's a lot of material we have together. Yep. And we used up as much as we've been doing in this From Scratch series. We used most of it up just on Celine Jean and the armor. It just took just a ton of materials. It was good that we had it, but kind of wiped our materials out. So we're having to load up again and again and again. And we still got power plants and thrusters to go after. Well, there's still no discounted tritium as of this capture. Now, it takes several weeks for us to get from a capture to a publish. There's classified data. Bank's filling up. That's an encoded. So, if I say something that's time sensitive, and it's way past that time, that is the reason. Now, most of our videos are from older, actually the first 3 months of when we started doing YouTube. Back in the beginning of 2020, that's most of our views are coming from those videos. It was the early play. And we have started this From Scratch series, so hopefully it'll pick up from this series also at some point. And we're going to start doing that where we just have a From Scratch, and we have the beginnings, which is currently, and it's from like March of 2020 through episode 6. So we're going to pick up from there, and we're going to continue that. That's going to be the beginnings to something else at some point. Chemical manipulators just filled. But it won't always be the beginnings. Maybe after we get a Python in the beginning series, it'll be no longer the beginnings. And I'll have to change the name of it. Maybe something like Continued or something series. Be sure to look underneath the video in the description to see ways of donating, joining our Patreon, and finding our plate carrier so you can help us with fuel, tritium. We just need lots of help. That's what it is. Lots of partners on this thing. Sure looking forward to that reverb though. And I'm glad that my computer is not rebooting all the time. It's been probably 3 weeks since it rebooted on just by itself. So we got most of that worked out. Now I'll say that, it could always start up again, so.
Incoming message. Handbrake is on.
And many of our materials are getting closer to filling, especially those grade 4s. And that's really what we need to fill. That makes the biggest difference. It's when our grade 5s are being eaten up that it kind of hurts us. Because between engineers we move materials over to the to grade 5 and grade 4s. I do have pre-order Odyssey on my wish list, so if they wind up running a special on that, you know, I would consider it. It's because it's doesn't have full VR support. Well, I'm not willing to spend the $60 US that they want.
Incoming message.
Still picking up some materials from the tower, so as long as we're picking up some, it's not too bad. I am going to have to check the time, see where we're at on this video. Let's do that. Let's check the time. And we can do up to another 15 minutes. Okay. I was pleased that we sort of topped off our main account materials. That was good.
Incoming message.
Now our encrypted for our main account, it's absolutely topped off. As you probably noticed, I only play solo. No open for me. Too many gankers. That's those that that'll kill you just for the fun of it. Real players, not NPCs. Is this up? Yeah, we're pretty far behind on our publishing of videos. We do publish 3 a day. That's about all I can really do. And we record so many videos every day. Sometimes up to 10 in a day. So, I mean, there's really no way I can get all of those published. Now I have an Oculus Rift S, and that's what I use now. And it works pretty good. It's not bad. Especially since I got most of the bugs worked out. It still has to be, the Oculus has to be restarted at times.
Incoming message.
About 10 more minutes before we go out to the crater and gather raw materials. We are doing pretty good. Just make sure you press that subscribe button. That's what we need. We have less than 1% of our viewers subscribing, and we need at least 5%, which is still pretty low. But if we could get about 5% of you to support the channel, it would be good. Refined focus crystals went full.
Incoming message.
And I did check a few videos ago. We do need to gather encrypted at Jameson crash site, so we'll be doing that too. I hadn't decided when the end game's going to happen with this from scratch. We've only been doing it for a little over about a month and a half. But I'm thinking within 2 to 3 months we will hit the total time. I think we'll hit the end game. And it will be time for another account. And we will continue on the beginnings to a point.
Incoming message.
Still collecting encrypted. We might call it like beginnings to end game on the next series. Now my beginnings and from scratch is a little bit different because I have a fleet carrier. I have access to a fleet carrier. It's just as like if you have access to a fleet carrier, let's say you have a friend that has a fleet carrier that you can tag along with. Like when he goes to Colonia, or he goes to Sothis, or he goes to Seoul, or something like that, that you could tag along. That you keep up with where his fleet carrier is and what his plan of movement is. Now mine doesn't really have a definite, well, the plan is to taxi for my alt accounts, but I'm so far behind I wouldn't be able to give you a time frame that I'm going to move from here to somewhere else. If you were part of my Patreon, let's say, that would be a good idea. I could let the Patreons know when I'm going from point A to point B, or roughly a time, and you could land on the fleet carrier, go into the hangar, and you would be transported when I go from one place to another. We just haven't gotten enough Patreons that want to do that. But if you became a Patreon and you did want to do that, wanted me to let you know when I go from one place to the next, I'd certainly be more than happy to do that. And then you can piggyback on the fleet carrier. I'd also be willing to give you access to those videos that I have that are out 10 days, scheduled out for 10 days. But at the moment, the Patreons are wanting that, so I don't add that to my list of things to do.
Incoming message.
And probably after the point that I get all of my alt accounts going at the same time, or have them going, we'll probably make a trip to Colonia at some point. Probably not anytime soon, because we're only on 2 of 5 of our alt accounts, or 1 of 4, not counting our fleet carrier. Well, I appreciate you coming along, and the next video we're going to go out to the crater and gather raw materials. Sit down. So until the next video, thank you for watching. Goodbye.